20% of Aussies are quitting their jobs. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. I want to have a look at this article from news.com.au written by Sarah Sharples discussing, well, the great resignation. 1 in 5 Aussies quit their jobs last year. Now, I'm not at all surprised by this, not in the slightest. We've had lockdowns, we've had people having to spend more time at home. I mean, that's one reason why so many people are renovating and extending their houses, as well as home builder. But here's the other thing. It may be the first time people have had a chance to step away, to reevaluate what they're doing with their life. And maybe they realize jumping through the hoops, doing the same job again and again, or their career, they're just over, or they hate their job, or they want to do something different. Or maybe they've discovered new opportunities. That could be the silver lining through this insane intervention in our lives that the government did, that many would argue is an overreaction. You know, there's got a positive to everything, guys. There's a positive to everything. It's often you have to go through your darkest challenges to emerge from them a better person, or to get skills and new experiences, or even a new perspective. Could that be what we're seeing here? So let's have a look at this. I'm hoping we'll hear more stories of, you know, I suffered in lockdown, then I started a business, or I did this, or I changed my life entirely. Let us know in the comments your happy stories that you have. So, the Great Resignation. Let's have a look. Shocking figures reveal millions of Aussies changed jobs last year. With the Great Resignation looming, there's more pain to come for employers. Well, Rachel was at an event, and she was talking to a manager of an engineering firm, and she's saying, you know, no one's hiring. Everyone is poaching right now. It's just hard to get those workers. But don't worry, ScoMo's 200,000 people that we're bringing over, I'm sure that'll address that issue. Don't worry. Wages won't go up. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, guys. The RBA's record, it's going to stand. 1 in 5 Aussies changed their jobs last year. Well, here's the thing. If you want a wage rise, you need to change jobs. That's the way to do it. You know, if you really want a pay rise, you need to change jobs, because then you're a completely new person coming into a new position, new opportunities, not just waiting for someone to hand it out to you. Okay, and this is coming from the perspective of someone who's been a small business owner since pretty much a year and a half after I graduated university. So, you know, take that with my bias. But, you know, I would suggest, you know, getting out there. I did work all through university. That was the advantage of QUT when I did architecture there. You would work 4 days a week in an office, 1 day at uni. It was great, really good. You came out with a lot of experience. But it was also a red-hot market. So you changed jobs to lift up your wage. Anyway, 1 in 5 Aussies changed jobs last year, and a quarter are currently considering leaving their workplace. New research by NAB has found. The findings support predictions that the Great Resignation, a phenomenon which has been playing out in the US, from everyone from frontline workers to senior executives quitting their jobs, is expected to bite in Australia from March. For those Australians considering changing jobs, over 1 in 3 said the pandemic had a big impact on their decision. There you go. It's the first time they've had time to think about life. I mean, you can get in that situation. We've all been there, where you're just so busy. Well, we've got a new little baby, Valeria. And all of a sudden, she's like a tank. She's huge. I don't know how that happened. It just happened overnight. She went from a little tiny baby to like a huge roly-poly thing that rolls over and fights with her toys now and starts eating them. They grow up so quick. So, reasons for wanting to quit include a lack of personal fulfillment, purpose or meaning, career limitations, mental health concerns, poor pay and benefits, the research has shown. Yep. Getting fulfillment in your job is very important. Having a meaningful job, I can appreciate that. Career limitations, yeah. Mental health, 100%. One of the environments I worked in was the Architectural Practice Academy. And it was actually a very toxic environment. It's like you don't realize these things until you're out of that environment. It was just very narky. It was, 6 people from QUT and 6 from UQ, the 2 big universities in Queensland that had architecture schools at the time. They were to come in this special program to train you up to be registered architects under the Department of Public Works. And, of course, it had a lot of prima donnas. Architects are known for that. And it was just such a bitchy environment there. Oh, boy. It's probably one of the reasons why I wanted to jump out of there as quickly as I could. I registered early, got out, and started working for myself. Other key drivers for wanting to change jobs, including poor work-life balance, burnout, and needing a fresh start. Work-life balance, I would say, is one of the most important things. Now, I had a business where we had lots of staff, where Rachel and I would commute there. I think we got up to 12 at one time. It was insane. We were working on all these types of jobs. But, of course, with that many people, the money just flows right through. You've got to keep it going, keep the machine going. So you're working just to feed the machine. And what happens to your work-life balance? You know, the only reason we saw our kids was because we brought them to the office. They were brought up there. We've stepped away from that. We've moved the office back home. We've downscaled. We've gotten rid of all of the staff. It's just us and occasionally contractors if we need it. Usually I'm too cheap for that and we'll just work through the night to meet a deadline. But the secret is having that balance. And honestly, I would say the most important thing is having control of your own time. I think that's, having control of your own schedule and your own time. I think that's the most valuable thing you can do. So, Julie Rinsky, NAB executive for Business Bank, said the pandemic had shifted the expectations of Australian workers, and employers now need to work harder to retain talent. There are a number of theories why the Great Resignation might be happening, but a heightened sense of morality and burnout due to extra work, particularly among frontline essential workers, is certainly high on the list, she said. A strong rebound in the labour market is also giving people confidence they will find another job if they make the jump. Well, you should kind of find another job before you jump. You should be looking for one while you're employed somewhere else. Don't just quit and then hope to find a job. That's insane. Don't do that. That's stupid. Okay? That's bloody stupid. Unless you have, which hopefully you would have, big emergency fund buffers, but even then you wouldn't want to do it. Unless it's a real toxic environment. The unemployment rate hit a 13-year low, sitting at 4.2%. NAB's research also found there could be a big shake-up set for some sectors, as around 3 in 10 Aussies are planning to change the industry they currently work in. That's a poll. I should do that as a poll to see how many of you are thinking of doing that. 30% of people changing the industry? Yeah, I mean, maybe they were exposed to different things while on lockdown holiday. For those who have already embraced the Great Resignation, job turnover was greatest for general unskilled workers, with almost 4 in 10 indicating they had changed jobs in the past year, followed by labourers and other IT and technology workers. I mean, that's so stereotypical. Who carries a box of shit like that out? You put it in your bag and then you go to the pub after you leave a job. Or is that what I did? Is that not normal? Heading to drinks after you leave a job and getting nice and tipsy? So, yet there have been unusually low levels of employee turnover in Australia, with the latest data from February showing an all-time low since the ABS started tracking labour mobility in 1972. This is probably why we're not seeing wages growth. Because people aren't leaving their jobs to push up their wages. The ABS data suggests 7.5% of employed people aged 15 and over, or around 1.1 million, changed jobs, down from a peak of 19.5% in 88-89. Recent research from Elmo Software also found 43% of workers are planning to search for a new job in 2022, and a third are planning to quit their jobs as soon as they secure a new position. However, nearly a fifth of Aussies are so fed up they plan to quit without another job lined up. Now that's brave. Workers are expecting increased wages, more flexibility, more annual leave, a promotion, and the ability to work remotely, according to Elmo's findings. Now here's the thing. If you can work remotely, people overseas can work remotely. Relaunch Me founder and career coach Lee Lambert said the main reasons Australians were quitting their jobs was extreme burnout, due to heavy workloads, long stretches without holidays, and remote working conditions. They've just got to a point where they can't see an end in sight, she told the Herald. That's a good point. Let's have a bit of a talk about this one, guys. I mean, it's a tough situation to be. If you're at a point where your mental health is so bad, where you're so burned out, where you just can't take it anymore, that you're jumping ship before you have something else lined up, I can understand that. I can appreciate it. It may not be the smartest thing to do, but sometimes you've just got to take that leap and take care of yourself, because you can do some long-term damage. You've got to be sensible about these things. And like I said, having freedom and control of your time is the best thing. And having those skills that allow you to have that control, that's what you want to achieve. I mean, maybe this is the time, if you jump ship, it's to educate, to get some new skills, to start a side hustle so you have an additional income stream coming in. But really, that just comes with time and experience too. After a while, you learn to say, no, I'm not working those extra hours. No, I've got to scale back. Or you'd want to work in an environment. This is what we did. When we had to work the extra hours, you make sure people get the time off to compensate for that, so you're not burning out. So it has to be a bit of give and take in an office environment. What do you think, guys? Are you quitting your jobs? Let me know in the comments below. And I think this is definitely one to discuss and just to keep an eye on. But hopefully, this is a good turn for a lot of people. Thanks for watching. If you're a fan of the channel, there are a few ways you can support us. Commenting, sharing helps the channel grow, helps more people see the videos. You can support us by joining us on YouTube or Patreon, signing up for SelfWealth or Stake, using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Every time you use one of those links, it helps the channel, with a slight trickle of money. And it adds up, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Also, you can buy our merch. I've got a wonderful range of pocket squares. You can see right there, handmade in this very house by Rachel. Take care, guys. And I want to point you to a previous video I did, this one, about, soaring inflation. It's acceptable. You've got to be happy about it, guys. Maybe that's another reason why people are quitting jobs. They need to earn more money just to buy bread and food. Take care. See you next time.